Okay, so welcome to the week 8 lab 9 where we start doing application analysis .apk analysis for Android based mobile malware. So what I have in front of me here is one of many forensic platforms that are used in mobile device forensics. This is the Oxygen Forensic Detective platform, and simply what we're going to do is walk through the process of exporting out a suspected application file that may contain malware or have similar properties of spyware to get a better understanding as to what is actually going on in the background. And there are many ways we can start doing that. We've talked about looking at online sandboxes. Going this route, doing static analysis of an APK, we're actually able to analyze them locally in a static manner, and the application of file, the .apk file, is a zip package that's based on the jar file format. Okay, so it contains compiled programming code and additional information, and we can look inside to see what the application is actually programmed to do. So the terms that we're using here during this lab is unpacking and decompiling using open source tools. So the contents of the application file can be viewed by unpacking it. And so what we're going to do first is go into the actual file system of the Android. This step is already going to be completed for you as you start your labs, as you don't have access to the Oxygen Forensic Detective for this particular class. Alternatively, you could potentially start browsing through the file system through other free programs like FTK Imager, or just actually going through and mounting the file system and browsing it that way. Just this instance here showing you exactly what the file system looks like. We start going through and looking at the application library. We're under root and then under data here, and we start seeing quite a few, and there's several that we could choose from, but maybe as you're going through and doing your examination, one stands out by the name or by functionality. The user says they notice that their particular device starts acting abnormally, and you observe those anomalies are associated anytime this particular application is open, so that helps you isolate. And so in this instance here, we will just go with the fake call simulator. This is just as an example. You'll have a different sample that you'll be working with your lab this week. So in this particular instance, I'm just going to export this particular APK out, and if you go out to your malware analysis machine, our Windows 7 machine, it'll already be in the infected folder, which is what this will look like for you as you step into your lab. So I go into infected. The first step that I want to do as I locate this APK is to rename this file to a zip, and then open it to actually start unpacking this APK file. So I'm literally just going to rename it .zip and get a message that's saying, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Yes. Okay. Now what I'm going to need out of this is actually what's called the classes.dex file. That's going to be needed for our next step. So I go out, extract the files, and we'll see here the classes.dex file. So we'll copy this classes.dex, and we're going to go back out to our desktop. You'll see you have a folder called dex to jar 2.0. I'm just going to copy that classes.dex into this dex to jar directory. Then I'm going to open a command prompt. And as I open the command prompt, I want to make sure that I am navigating to the appropriate directory where dex to jar is. So just come up to the address bar, copy, come back to our command prompt, and let's do a change directory. Okay, so now we can start working here. Now, what we want to do next is execute the batch file. Now, this will look a little bit differently. You have to actually go through, and what you're looking for is what's called the dex to jar, and it's going to be a batch file, .bat. So we go back to this directory. You'll see quite a few there that look similar, but the one that stands out is this dex to jar, d2j-dex to jar. This is our Windows batch file. All right, so I'll come back to my command prompt, and I will go ahead and start the execution of that batch file. And again, that is d2j dex to jar. And I'm going to run that against that classes.dex. And that's what's going to happen. And once I execute that, you'll notice in your folder here in the dex to jar directory that there is a new jar file. Okay, it's an executable that will come up as a classes-dex to jar.jar. That's what you're looking for. Okay. Now at this point we are ready to start doing our analysis. We can now move forward to our other open source program, which is our Java development GUI, our graphical interface JD-GUI. That's our Java decompiler, and we'll use this to actually view the data that we have unpacked and decompiled in our previous steps. So go back out to your desktop, and out into the desktop you will see your JD GUI, and we'll go ahead and run that. And we'll navigate to and open the classes-dex to jar.jar that was created earlier. And there you have it. And then what we're able to do now is actually start viewing the contents to reveal the underlying code and actually see what the APK file is actually doing. And we can start going through the various trees here, and really no order you have to go in, but you can start looking through to see exactly what might be going on in the background, what type of requests are being made. So let's take a look and see on the content. And again, quite a bit to drill down here. But this is where you start getting some information on what is actually going on in the background of this particular APK.